Muted. I forgot to turn my own mic back up. But anyway, welcome to Ready to Roll in our brand new home, Hembrew Hall, as I motion to absolutely nothing that has changed, because physically we're all still the same, with just our location on the internet that's different. But yeah, so, we're happy to be here. It's going to be great today. Um, but it's, yeah. So, yeah, great start. Perfect start at the beginning. But, okay, so, we're gonna just give a little background as to what happened last time. So last time was pretty much just kind of a filler slash um, downtime session. You know, there was lots of hearts to hearts. People talked to each other, um, opened up to each other, got to know each other more, got to hate each other more, got to be annoyed by each other sometimes. You know, things like that. You know, just the normal drama that we have over here on Ready to Roll. Um, but so yeah, so that's what happened, and it ended with an ominous warning that the new defenses that the party had installed were going to be used. But before we hop into that, I was informed that there were some things that some people would like to do before we hopped in. So let's do that first. To Jelania, since what did you like to do?
Okay. I actually had a lot of things that I wanted to do. Um, First, I wanted to, because we went through Svetla's house, right? I wanted to see if there was any like information in books, journals, anything that she has that details like plans of the Profane Guard, any communication she had with Prestov or anybody else, to see if we can learn anything about their plans or movements.
Okay. Sorry, I apologize. I got informed that it sounds like I'm coming through the wrong mic, so I was fixing that. Can you just repeat that for me one more time?
Okay, so we went through Svetla's house and all
Yes.
her stuff. I wanted to see if there was any like notes in journals or letters that are just around or books in her house that detail any plans of the Profane Guard, any correspondence that she had with Prestov or anybody else.
Cool.
As much information as we can find about that.
Give me an
That's the
investigation
first
check.
thing.
And Corvette is help aiding in that
You can have advantage because Corvette
because
is
he would
helping.
definitely be looking through for things like that.
Um, let's see. My investigation is not super wonderful, but that's a 17.
17. All right. So you do happen at one point searching through through Svetla's old room, you find a secret compartment in her desk. It opens up and it'll take you some time to read through it, but at least the initial scanning, it appears to be a journal of some sort, detailing it looks like the journal started right after your family was killed, and so you'll need to take time to look through it to find anything that's in there during some while you're traveling, while you're resting, to get more information. But you did find that.
Okay. Other things that I wanted to do. I need Piotr to help me because he's mentioned that he is from Vinhelm. I want to send letters to people he knows there to be like, hey, is there anything weird going on? Is there any like issues or things that you've noticed? I want to send stuff like that to Vinhelm, and then I really want to like clue in important people like in Ostrava. Like, hey, there's a big bad thing going down. This is what's happening, and like send letters to a lot of people to try and like spread the information as much as we can.
Okay. How are you sending these letters? Are you just using regular couriers?
duh.
Are you
Probably because that is the fastest way to do a lot of them.
Okay.
I know that RTM can use the sending spell, but that's limited
Cool. All right.
and very direct.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We will do that. I will just need to make a note of that's how you are sending these letters. Cool.
Like, definitely want to send one to the Emperor, send one to, like, as many people over there as we possibly can.
We have an emperor.
More likely to find someone who's actually going to believe us and be concerned if we send, like, 30. Maybe we don't know 30 people, but...
Yeah, so, I mean, so the ones that would come off your top of your head, and the one that Piotr would probably suggest in Vinhelm would clearly be the Boyar of Vinhelm. He worked as a diplomat for the Boyar, so he can guarantee that he can guarantee that he can get a letter to him. And then in Ostrava, you'd probably send it to at least, you'd probably send it to the Tsar, and to the the matriarch, the high matriarch. Archmatriarch, that's the term, Archmatriarch. If those would be the two most important people in Ostrava. Are there?
And for each of those people, I want to also include one to, like, their secretary and, like, someone else in their organization, just in case, like, maybe the Tsar is corrupt. I want to make sure that there's somebody who's likely to be a good guy getting one.
Okay, sounds good.
So, question for you. Are you telling us that you're doing this, or are you just doing it?
Yes. I would
What?
tell you that I'm doing it, and if you want to stop me, too bad.
So, all right. So this is, if it's all right with you, if I can interrupt you for a second, I'm going to just Artyom's going to be sitting across, I guess standing, just kind of watching as you're writing a letter. So, Anya, you're just going to tell them all that we're here.
They already know.
Didn't we just kill everybody associated?
When we showed up, they were all like, "Oh," Prestov was like, "Oh, you're the ones I've heard about." They know who we are.
He's heard about us, but this is like lighting a giant fire under a big fancy piece of glass with a certain flying rodent inscribed upon it and putting it into the sky and being like, "Hey, we're right here." Because I'm assuming that you're using your seal of the Kontenkov household to kind of carry some weight, right?
I mean, that's up for debate. I figured that would give it some authenticity instead of some random citizen.
I mean,
They already know. They would know the sacrifice happened. It's something they care about. I imagine that they will quickly hear what happened because it is happening in a noble household.
But since we failed in the sacrifice, it's possible that they don't know where we are. Maybe they don't think we showed up to stop it. I mean, you do what you want to do, but we are kind of lighting a bonfire and saying, "Hey, we're over here. Come and get us." Just something to think about. And then I'm going to walk out the door because Adam knows that there's more that Lydia wants to do.
Actually, that is basically the last thing.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then Luke had one thing that you wanted to do.
I thought, yeah. So first, is there like an agricultural center of this place?
Cordovan?
Yeah. Does it have like a farm, an area dedicated to farming, or is the land around
Cordovan would probably be more dedicated to farming than the rest of the region, because Cordovan is part of the northern region, of the empire, and so the rest of the boyar that is in charge of Cordovan and everything is on the borders of Norsay, and so the rest of it's going to be pretty cold. So Cordovan's probably like one of the few major cities in this region that actually produces food for the rest of the region.
Okay, so Drith is gonna go out in the middle of a field, and he is going to, I don't know if it's like ritual casting, but it's some kind of casting. He's gonna do plant growth for 8 hours. And so the effect of this is that all plants within a half-mile radius centered on a point where I'm at become enriched for 1 year, and so they yield twice the amount of normal food when they're harvested.
That's very kind of you.
And then whenever I'm done with that, I'm gonna go to Lydia with Alistair on my shoulder and him wearing his new hat. I'm gonna go, "Hey Lydia, can I ask you
Lydia, who are you talking
geez.
to?
Oh, jeez, I'm talking to my imaginary friends again. Oh, rats. Hey, Anya, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can you embroider a daisy onto Alistair's hat?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thanks. And then Alistair, uses his wings to give you the hat.
How big is it? It's just like this little teeny.
Yeah, it's a tiny hat.
Okay, cool. I imagine
thanks.
I'm like copying over a bunch of identical letters and I'm like at a table with it just like right there.
Yeah, just with the hat right there.
I can probably do that within a day.
Okay,
It's not very
sounds
big.
good. Yep, just when you're done, just give a hoot.
Okay. Or I'll just come find you.
Or that. All right, good
You
night.
just hear Anya hooting in the corridors of the castle. It's like,
Very Russian hooting. Hoo, hoo.
Angry Russian owl hooting.
Alistair flies away
comrades, who?
because a male owl declared his territory.
All right. Cool. So with that, there's no anyone else before we move on, because you may not have the opportunity to do some things for a little bit. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do before we go forward?
No, never mind.
All right. So, as you recall, one of the things that Kadiak and Pyotr did with their week is they helped Cordovan set up defenses. You know, Kadiak is Norse, a Norsean, and so he is in charge. So he knows how they work. Pyotr, in his past life before everything that has happened, is was a diplomat that specifically worked with a coalition to help fight against piracy and Norsean raiders. So he has a lot of things. One of the things that they did in these defenses was they in the lighthouse of Cordovan, they let out they put lanterns, 2 lanterns in, and these lanterns were only to be lit if raiders or some hostile force was seen coming in the distance. It was 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, Paul Revere style. And it is the end of the week is reached, and for the first time, the lanterns are lit, and they're lit with 2. The raiders are coming by sea, and so to go along with the lanterns, there's this loud warning bell. All of you are aware that the raiders are coming.
Is it 1 or 2?
It's 2.
2.
I said that.
Oh, I totally missed that.
So they're coming by sea. Kadiak and Pyotr did put a lot of defenses in the sea. to protect the docks. But the main worry is that they might not land on the docks. They might land slightly north or south and come and attack the city that way and avoid those defenses in the water around the docks. But that would, the part of that is to give more defense, give you more time, to react, and let's have them spend less time in the city without, So, what do you guys want to do? The raiders are coming.
I want Piotr just wants to touch base with kind of the command structure one last time to make sure that everybody's kind of aware of the game plan, so to speak.
Okay. All right.
Well, anyone he can get to anyway. This is probably short notice. Well, it is short notice.
I saw a hand raised from our neighborhood Cadillac, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. My mic decided to stop working, so had to reset something. But Cadillac would be dropping stuff, whatever he was doing, as soon as he heard the bells, saw the beacon lantern things, and he would be rushing towards the wherever he could best see the harbor bay landing place to figure out what's going on.
All right, so you're rushing off to do that, and Piotr, you're checking in with the captain of the guard. The captain of the guard would look at you, and you say, we're still low on guards from last time. If you and your friends can help defend, that would be great. And he shows you a very specific spot. He shows you a very specific spot on a map that he would like you and your friends to go to protect. He says this is currently our weakest spot, but if the 6 of you have shown that you have the strength of 10 men each, so if you could all go reinforce that location, that would help us a lot. So
we would be honored. Do you have any maybe even just a squad of men to spare for that?
We have a few men on the walls with bows and arrows that will support you from up there, but no one that could fight on the front lines like you can.
Okay. Thank you for your confidence, Captain, sir, whatever your rank is. I will take my friends, and we shall do our best.
Okay. All right.
Piotr goes back to his friends. Wait, where is everybody? What's everybody doing right now?
Yeah, are we all gathered in a hall or something?
Well, you all
Except for me,
watched.
probably.
Yeah, you all watched Cadillac start running off. For plot appropriateness sake, we'll say Cadillac just happens to be running where the rest of you are going to be going in just a few moments, but
Okay.
Okay, before we all depart,
He's a dwarf. We can catch him.
I am going to cast Goodberry. And so I will make 10 berries appear in my hand, and they look really scrumptious as well. And I hand everyone 2, and because I'm guessing Cadillac is gone, so I'll give his later, and say, all right, if anyone falls in battle, just put one of these in their mouth and try to make them swallow it, and that should heal them for what we say back in my home, 1 HP.
All right.
great.
HP, you say.
But stick those in a little pouch.
Yep. All right. So you head off. Doesn't take you long to catch up with Cadillac. Any other preparations you want to do before you go charge into battle?
Cadillac, tell us about this enemy of yours. What do we need to expect?
Well, I haven't seen if it is Podara or not, That's why I was trying to get to the lookout to see what the heck was going on, who was coming in, figuring out if it's her or if it's just some other raider or what's going on. But Kadiak will respond. Sorry. Podara is a deadly adversary. Often she strikes at the what she sees as the weakest point and continues to hammer there as hard as she can until she breaks through. Even if it isn't the weakest point, she makes it the weakest point, or at least that's what she has done in the past. In general, if you've seen a raging bear, that's what she fights like.
I mean, I have never seen a raging bear, but I understand what you mean.
Would it help if I turned into a raging bear?
I mean, not yet. Maybe later.
Yeah, when the time comes, I'd say.
You got it.
And you, Piotr, as far as I understand,
Might
this is
actually
your-
very well.
very well. What?
It actually might throw her off a lot. Into a bear.
Is
I'll make
she,
sure
does
she
she have
has
a
it.
phobia? I mean, let's all be bear.
And you, Piotr, this is
I'm-
your specialty. What do you suggest?
To be fair, my specialty is more in the political side of things than necessarily the hands-on side of the house. However, I feel that we have proven ourselves in battle together before, and while I'm slightly terrified, I think we'll pull through.
How long do we have till they arrive, do you think?
Oh, in this case, plot appropriate amount of time. I'd say, I don't know, Patrick, hours, because they're
Probably like 20 minutes. Norsean
Oh.
raiders are particularly stealthy. They also are generally bring shamans along with them that possess magic, such as a fog that you all happen to notice is creeping up along it's getting really foggy. So your guess is that your best guess is that you're lucky that you got this amount of warning. The Norsean have been doing this for a long time and they're really good at it, and so you're lucky that you probably have I think an hour or so of warning, but at this point you probably guess like 20 minutes they're going to have arrived.
Piotr turns, noticing the fog. Come to think of it, right about now is when they're probably going to be upon us. So, that said, there's a section of the line that we have been asked to defend specifically. I say we get there yesterday.
I'd imagine that we're kind of
There.
running and talking.
Hopefully. Yeah.
We're just sitting there.
Or there.
Yeah. So,
Sure.
how long? Oh, they're here.
Man, I'll need to work with them to get them to notice things like unusual fog earlier so we can get
An
more
early
warning.
warning signal or something.
Will you need my chess expertise?
Not that kind of chess. Yeah, maybe later.
All right. So you begin to make your way through the town towards where you were asked to defend. It's this little. It's not the part of the main dock. It's a smaller dock just north of town. You arrive just as you see this Viking-style longship just start pulling up towards the coast, and you and it's coming full speed towards the beach, getting ready to disembark itself, and at the head, hanging on to the front of the longship, you see this massive creature. On first glance, you expect it to be a, you call it a monster, but on second glance, you realize that what it is, after having communicated with Cadillac, you realize it's a wereboar. A wereboar is hanging onto the front of this, the front of this longship. It has an axe in hand and is pointing and squealing and shouting at its men to row faster and get on the land. Eventually you arrive just as the longship does, and as it lands, they throw some torches onto the dock and onto the barrels, and the wereboar and 3 raiders hop off the boat. On the boat, you see a woman. She's wearing zoom in a bit, so you can see she's wearing kind of like, it looks like a ram skull, wearing leathers and furs. Then you also see the very familiar purple robe of the Profane Guard cultists and a silver mask. And these 2 people stay on the boat. So you guys come up as the raiders have hopped off, and everyone give me an initiative roll.
Ooh.
Nice.
Little Miss Fodder, you are my favorite person in the whole world.
I'm telling Nick.
He can hear me. He's sitting in this room and watching the stream, so he heard it twice.
All right, Jelania, what'd you roll?
21.
Sorry, my dice has just rolled a 5 6 times in a row, and I'm like, what? Not possible.
You need
All
some
right.
Little Miss Fodder in your life.
Do 21. Okay, Artyom, what'd you roll?
15.
Corvette.
A whopping 2.
Ouch.
Piotr.
13.
Cadillac.
14.
Drith.
19.
All right.
Way to go, guys.
First up will be Jelania, followed by Drith, followed by Artyom, followed by Cadillac, followed by some enemies,
So, do we get the battle map, or does only the
oh, sorry.
stream
Give
get the
me
battle
a-
map?
I was
just
like,
watching
is everyone
I
seeing
completely
something that I'm not?
Based it.
Yeah.
See if I can-
Let me zoom in so you can see. See what?
I was like, oh,
Right, I was like,
Let's hope that doesn't
Please do.
screw up
I will
everything. Oh
trust
yeah,
you
it
on this.
wrecks the cameras.
Hey, I'm Cadillac
Yes.
now.
If you're all playing those characters, I
Cadillac, the dungeon
completely forgot that was
master.
the thing I was supposed to do. Give me a second. And then it will be, and after the enemies will be Corvette. Corvette goes after everyone else.
yay. And I'm in the back. That's a good place for me to be if I'm going last.
Okay, while I'm fixing that, Jelania, you're up first.
Okay. All right. So the distance between like the shore and the boat, like how tall is the boat on the shore, or is it possible to jump from the shore to the boat pretty easily?
It's possible to jump from the shore to the boat pretty easily.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to do because I am now newly mobile. I'm going to run up to the left past these dudes. I'm going to take a swing at each of the 2 that I pass, which I believe is that wereboar in the front and then that guy on the left as I'm going to move towards the boat. I'm going to make an attack on each of them as I run by.
So are you moving as a... Okay, so you're going to provoke attack of opportunity from the wereboar?
No, I am not, because with my new mobile feat, if I make an attack against someone, they cannot make an opportunity attack against me if I leave.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah, Patrick.
wow.
I
cool.
I was wondering. Okay, cool. All right. Cool. Make your first attack roll.
Okay. The first one is a 23. The second one is a 19.
Okay, that will both hit both of your targets.
Okay, so the first one against the werebore is 8 silvered piercing damage. And the second one against the other guy is 5 silvered piercing damage. Then I want to hop up in the boat next to the profane guard member and make my third and final attack on him.
Okay.
That is a 21.
All right, that will hit.
And that's 9 points of silvered piercing damage.
Perfect. Okay.
Starting off hot. Go.
Okay, sorry, I'm almost done fixing the cameras. There we go. Cameras are fixed. All right. Perfect. Okay, now cool. All right, Drith, it is your turn with Artyom on deck.
All right, so I am going to run up to the guy in front, and as I'm running up to him, I'm gonna summon my flame blade at a 3rd level, and I'm just gonna slash at him.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Does a 12 hit?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Does it 12? Oh no, yes, it actually 12 does hit. Yep. Just barely.
Ow.
$12 damage.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. RTM, you are up with Kadiak on deck.
Okay. I am going to look behind me at Corvette, and I'm going to say, whatever you do, keep him off me. And then I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere right in the middle of the sail. A 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much again on a successful one. And as a bonus action, I can move it 30 feet.
So you're
And so I am trying to light the boat on fire by lighting the sail on fire. Imagine straight up Sea of Thieves. Just yoke this fireball thing onto it, and it's just now, but it's channeled, so it will stay there as long as I
Floating
have concentration
fireball.
on it.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay. You are very
burning
much
the boat down.
definitely succeed in lighting the sail on fire, and I will put a flame there that will spread as time goes. All right.
I'm certain that Anya can take care of herself. I'm not worried about her getting roasty toasty.
You're not worried about her getting roasty toasty.
He's
All right.
never worried about me.
Kadiak,
I don't have to.
Kadiak, it is your turn with the enemies on deck.
Great. With a bonus action, I am going to enter into my battle trance, and then I am going to go 10 feet straight ahead and hit that profane guard that's right in front of me.
You mean the raider?
Yes, sorry, the raider.
It's like that is definitely not. I mean, he's at least not dressed like a member of the profane guard.
Yes, no. Hit the raider.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Roll to hit.
Do I need to roll on the fumble table?
Oh, did you roll a natural one?
I did, yes.
Okay, then you need to roll your d20 and see if you get a 5. Your level or lower. Then you need to roll on the fumble table.
And we can't hear you, Mike.
Yeah, we can't hear you anymore.
Testing. Testing.
Now we can hear
Mhm.
Yep. Now I do.
you. What did you get?
Okay. I got a nat 20 on the on the fumble or not roll.
All right, now you roll your D100 and we'll
then-
see what you got.
The fumble or not roll. Fumble or not, here we come.
Are you going to roll your D100? Just trying to make sure that we can hear him.
31.
21, you said?
31.
31. Okay, let's see. 31. I need you to give me a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or knock yourself prone.
Great. Well, I have advantage on that because I'm a barbarian. So
Take that, DM.
Yeah. You thought I slipped on a rock? No. I almost slipped on a rock.
I got 11.
Okay. Congratulations. So you just you swing, and as you swing, you big and hard, the raider just kind of ducks down for a second, and you just kind of like twirl yourself around and land flat on your back as as you fail to compensate for the weight of your maul and a missed swing. You are prone until the start of your next turn. It is now the turn of...
Wait. I have a second attack.
You're prone. You don't get to take your second attack. You just got knocked yourself prone. You don't get to take a second attack. It's now the turn of the cultist.
No? Oh.
Can't I throw my scimitar?
Or just stand up.
Get our lower scimitar.
It is the turn of the cultist. Him standing up and then taking another attack would negate the purpose of the failed of the nat 1. So he doesn't get to take the next attack. So cultist is going to go. And the cultist is going to cast Hold Person on Jelania. I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Here. It's not good. That's an 8.
All right. Jelania is held on the burning boat, and the cultist is going to jump off the burning boat. All right.
Okay.
Okay, it is now the turn of the werebore. The werebore is going to make a shove attack against Drith. So I need Drith to give me a... I always forget how shove attacks work. Okay, I need you to give me either a strength athletics check or a dexterity acrobatics check opposed to what I... good luck.
Let's see. Dexterity, acrobatics. So that's a 22.
Okay, you did not manage to beat the 23 that the werebore
Oh.
rolled. So you are pushed back, and then it turns and makes an attack against Kadiak with advantage since you are prone. Okay, that is going to be... What's your AC, Kadiak?
16.
16, okay.
Sorry, 16.
Perfect. Cool. That hits you. That's going to be 11 points of bludgeoning damage as it swings a giant maul down on you.
Is that halved or no?
That is not halved. But okay. All right. The shaman is going to be now go, and the shaman's going to look up at the sails, and the shaman is going to cast Conjure Water. That's the spell, right? I'm looking at her spell list. Create or destroy water. That's it. So we're going to create water, and Well, she's going to use the alternative form to have the water fall in a 30-foot cube within range, and she's going to have it try to cover as much of the boat as possible, getting the boat wet to help prevent the spread of the flames. It's not going to stop the spread, it's just going to make the flames spread slower. Okay, it is now the turn of the raiders. One raider is going to attack Kadiak. And it's going to hit Kadiak for 8 points of... That's not half, so 4 points of slashing damage. Next raider is going to... Oh, this raider is going to use its multi-attack and hit Kadiak again for another point of... For another 5 points of slashing damage. The next raider is going to attack Kadiak and get a nat 20 on the unfortunately prone Kadiak.
At least Kadiak is, our beefy guy, right?
He has like double the hit
know, I
points
was
of all
like,
the rest
Take
of
this
us.
down.
It's
gonna
true.
I have a feeling that I'm wasting.
Yeah.
It's all relative, right?
Spending a spell slot on my turn.
It's going to be 16 points of... No, it's not 16. It's going to be 6 points of damage on Kadiak.
I was like, jeez.
This raider
That's
is...
all. These have all been halved,
Those
right?
good
Yeah,
bears.
I've been having them. The next raider is going to move up and attack Drith.
Drith Ray says good berries.
And is going to miss Drith. Piotr, it is your turn.
Is my turn? Okay.
Yep.
Kadiak, how you feeling?
I'm fine. Still have
Okay.
more than most of you, probably.
All right. Well, since
Casual
Kadiak is
conversation from a man laying on the ground.
I'm fine. His arms like twitching. So since Kadiak has become something of a I don't know what you call this, a pincushion of sorts, I am
Diversion.
A liability.
No, actually, like he's doing great. I'm not dead yet, so I am going to bestow upon him bardic inspiration. And as he's lying there doing whatever it is you do when you're lying prone in the midst of a throng of fighters, he's going to say, "Godspeed to your swift souls, my good friend, and do whatever you do to visually..." No, it's just the words. Just the words. That's how his bardic inspiration is bestowed. And I rest. Nope. And then, because that is bonus. Yes.
That's a D8, right? Or D6?
Yes, correct. D8.
D8.
So you do have that now. And then he is going to viciously mock the... Where am I? Okay. Viciously mock the wizard in the purple.
The cultist, okay?
Looks like a wizard.
Okay, cultist succeeds.
I...
Okay. All right, Corvette, it's your turn with Jelania on deck.
Okay.
I'm literally
she's
on
literally
deck,
on the
too.
deck.
Yes, and whose turn is it?
Okay. So many things I can do. What do I want to do? Oh. Yeah, this will work. So Corvette runs up to where next to Kadiak on the right side of him, so that he puts some distance. Ooh. Can I go one more up there? Go like
Start here.
up one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. Perfect. This way it won't hit any of my friends. And then I see Kadiak just in the midst of everyone. Still want to get him out a bit. Kind of grab like his arm or his leg or foot or something, and cast Thunder Step, taking him with me.
Okay.
And we're going just next to the wizard. Just like below him, kind of cutting off where he's running away from the boat. But also close enough for Kadiak to get up and fight still with whoever he wants on his next turn.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm looking at Thunderstep.
So,
It's a
it's
great
a
spell.
90-foot.
Okay, cool. All right.
I teleport myself and someone, and then take a Constitution saving throw for everyone within 10 feet from where I left. So it should just be those
Yep. It'll be
those
just those.
three.
All right. One raider fails. The second raider fails. Yours is a 15, right? Is your DC?
It is 16.
16. Okay. Cool. And then the werebore succeeds. So the 2 raiders fail and the werebore succeeds.
All right. So the 2 that failed take 12 damage, and then the werebore that succeeded takes 6 damage. So it's a half. And then thunder can be heard from just rippling across the waves. Yeah, and so we teleport there. Then as my bonus action, I use my Hexblade's Curse on the Profane Guardsman.
Okay.
Right next to me.
All right.
Hello there. We weren't expecting us, were you?
He just kind of growls at you as he sees you suddenly disappear in front of him with a boom of thunder. Jelania, did you... Nope, go ahead, Corvette. What are you gonna say?
Oh, and as I say that, I have my new shield that I bought last time, so I just like kind of ready that, like, bring it on, buddy.
All right.
Just like, ha!
Jelania, it is your turn to make a saving throw at the end of your turn to get out of the hold person.
That's a 5.
Okay, Jelania is still held on the boat that is now soaking wet and burning. All right. So the fire is growing slightly bigger, by the way, and spreading.
Yay.
It is now the turn of Drith with Artyom on deck.
So Drith is going to dismiss his flame blade, and he's going to cast Dispel Magic on Jelania.
Okay, very nice.
Thank you.
I believe, since I just have to double check. Yep, okay. So automatically succeeds because Hold Person is a 3rd level spell. So Jelania is now free. All right. Artyom, it is your turn with Kadiak on deck.
All right. So I'm going to use another one of my super awesome clerical of light abilities, and I'm going to use Scorching Ray. And I'm going to use the rays of scorching. Well, I'm looking at the wrong level. At 3rd level. And I am going to fire 4 laser beams of death right at the little, I guess not so little, but the big, war pig right in front of me. And
Okay.
that means,
Roast pig, right?
yeah, salted pork. I make a whole bunch of different range spell attacks. Uh, 17.
Okay.
A 15. Another 15. And a 10.
Everything except the 10 hits.
All right, let's see. Six. 7, 13, 18, 22, 27 fire damage.
Okay.
You like setting
Alright.
things on fire, don't you, Artyom?
So your numerous scorching rays strike the werebore all over his body. Kind of just like, you see that he's getting burned, but and he still seems to just kind of shake it off, and you just seem to have made him really, really angry. On top of having hurt him a lot.
Shouldn't have done that.
All right, Kadiak, it is your turn with all the enemies on deck.
Great. Well, I'm going to stand up. That's half my movement, right?
Yes.
Okay. Those rocks right there. If I were to get up on top of those, that wouldn't be enough of a lift in order to give me any sort of advantage, right?
No, it would not.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna step one square to the right then. And in Norsean, call out. This town is under my protection. The Urdine path blocks your way. He's going to maul the raider right there.
Okay. All right. Roll to hit.
All right, 21.
Okay, that will hit. How much damage
All
is
right,
that?
first attack does 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay.
Then second attack. Is a nat 20.
All right. You know how it goes. Roll double your normal dice and add your regular modifiers.
Okay, so that will be 20 damage. 20 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
And yeah, that's what I got.
Cool. All right. It is now the turn of starting with the cultist. The cultist is going to growl at, Corvette and look at you and notice your golden eyes and then kind of spit and say, "You will
That's
die.
not nice.
You will die here today, chosen of the false goddess." And he will cast inflict wounds on you at its regular spell slot level. What's your AC?
16. Now with the shield, it's 16.
Okay, well,
I am going to cast
Cutting words.
cutting words. Yes. Sorry, I was gonna say cutting words, and then I had another idea, but that doesn't apply here. So
Okay,
cutting words it is.
remind me what cutting words does.
So I roll a d8. It's basically just the opposite of bardic inspiration. So I use a bardic inspiration die. I roll a d8 and subtract that from his attack roll.
All right, roll your d8.
1 second.
Yeah. The music.
Sorry, 1 second.
I can picture Drith just jamming out to this music, actually.
That's a 4.
With Alistair.
Okay, all right. All right. Cool. You lose. All right. You've managed to save Drith's life. I mean, Corvette's life right there. You tell me. So as you do whatever it is you do to, distract him. the cultist, stumbles, and his hand, which was going to slap Corvette right in the face, kind of just like swings past and whiffs over his shoulder. And it is now the wereboar's turn. So the wereboar has heard. The wereboar heard Kadiok speak in Norsean and is just gonna whip around facing Kadiok, completely enraged, and is gonna look at Kadiok and is gonna say Svikari, which means traitor in Norsean, and then is going to he's gonna step back and he's gonna run straight at you, trying to take you, charging straight at you, using his charge attack. Okay, so it's gonna roll to hit Kadiok. That will hit Kadiok. I need you to give me a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked backwards. Oh, sorry, or be knocked prone again, actually, is what it is, sorry. But he gets to do a lot of damage to you because of his charge.
That is an 18 to stay standing.
Okay, so you managed to stay standing. Okay, that's going to be 10 points of damage to you. 5 of which is bludgeoning.
Is that halved or no?
Yeah, it's already halved. 5 of which is bludgeoning and 5 of which is slashing. It's then going to make another attack against you with its multi-attack, and this one is also going to hit you. It's going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage. He just starts slamming down at you again and again and again, clearly infuriated by the fact that by your mere presence, the fact that you are currently here. Then it is going to be the turn of the shaman. The shaman is going to, if I find her stat block again, the shaman is going to cast Bless on the 4 raiders. So she raises her hand and holds it up into the sky, and you see, that all these Norsean raiders have tattoos on them, and you watch their tattoos begin to glow with this blue light as as the shaman is using her magic to bless them. Okay, and with that is the raiders' turn, and the raiders also heard you, so they're gonna come over at you. This raider comes over and starts off by shoving Corvette. So it's gonna shove Corvette. I need you to give me either an athletics or an acrobatics check to resist the shove.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Come on. Oh, I thought that was an 18. Nope, I got a 14.
Okay, so he just pushes you out of the way, and then he just takes your spot so he can swing on Kadiok's back. That's going to be a nat 20 against Kadiok.
Oh my.
Coward.
Patrick, stop rolling. You're rolling really well
I'll take
tonight.
it. It's okay.
He's like,
This is
I've got
Kadiok's
400
fight, though.
hit
This is
points
cool.
more. It's fine.
Oh, sorry, those are the wrong dice to be rolling. I should be rolling these.
If you're curious, before this hit right here, I'm at 50.
Okay, you take 10 points of slashing damage.
It's halved, right?
Yeah, that's already halved.
Okay.
This guy's going to move into position here and take another swing at Kadiok. And we'll hit Kadiok for 5 points of slashing damage. And this raider will attack Kadiok and get another natural 20.
Oh my
Oh
gosh, Patrick,
my-
stop.
Stop that.
That'll be 11 points of slashing damage. That is halved. I've been having all the damage done to you. So, all right. The raiders are clearly infuriated at the presence of Kadiak. It is now the turn of Piotr with Corvid on deck.
Really, the only person that's been hit a lot is Kadiak, right?
Yep.
Okay. I am going to 1 second. I'm gonna heal him. Deciding. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Healing Word. So that's a D8, or sorry, a D4 plus my modifier, so 4. 1 second. That's 5 HP.
Okay.
Hope you don't spend it all in one place.
All right, Corvid, it is your turn with Jelania on deck.
So Corvette, seeing that the profane guard person missed a slap to the face. I mean, how pathetic is that, really? So his hand just glows with his blue energy, and he fires off 2 Eldritch Blasts. The first one is a 14 to hit.
That will hit.
Awesome. So that does 1d10. Oh, 7 plus 5 is 12 plus 3 from the Hexblade's Curse, so 15 damage on that one.
Okay.
And then the second one is a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
And the second one does... another 15. Roll 2 7s.
There you go.
So 30 total damage of, I guess the...
So you watch as your Eldritch Blast just tear deep wounds into this, into this cultist. You see as he starts clutching at himself as blood seeps between his fingers. He's not looking very hot.
That's how you actually hit someone.
It is now the turn of Jelania with Drith on deck.
So this shaman is wearing a ram skull.
Yeah.
So there's 2 horned women on top of this boat.
Yes. Pretty much.
Straight up like goat battle.
Yeah. I'm just gonna run up and use all 3 of my attacks on her.
Okay.
2 horns and 1 sword.
That's a 12, an 18, and a 19.
Okay, the 18 and 19 hit.
Well, let me actually roll these. That is 17 silvered piercing damage.
Okay. All right. She is still standing. You just, All right. It is now Drith's turn as the fire grows
Actually,
and spreads.
sorry,
more.
really
Nope.
fast. Is she? How hurt does she look?
She could take a few more hits, but not too many more hits.
All right, cool. I'll save my action surge for later.
Okay. So Drith, first of all, he's gonna back away, diagonal right a square away from 6-pack over there, and
He will
He is
take his
going to
attack of
cast-
opportunity against you.
okay, that's
Rude.
Okay, what's your AC?
17
Okay, that will hit.
rats.
So you just are like backing away, hoping he's super concentrated on Kadiak, and he just turns and slashes at you as you walk away, and you will take 10 points of slashing damage.
Good. Ooh. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're all good here. So Drith is going to retreat to relative safety next to Artyom and Pyotr, and gonna cast Call Lightning. And so he's gonna just look up at the sky. It's not stormy, is it?
Nope.
It'd
not
be
currently.
really nice if it was stormy.
Not currently.
Okay, well, it's
I
about
played
to.
a druid once. Patrick doesn't make it stormy ever.
He's gonna snap his fingers, and then a big old storm cloud is gonna appear in the sky, and he is going to call lightning, kind of in the like where the L shape of the cone-headed purple man, the what's his name, follower of
The Profane Guard.
Nah, that was the word I was looking for. That guy, and then the guy who just struck me, two identically handsome-looking brothers. Yeah, and so they have to make a DC 14 saving throw.
Okay, so you're putting it. Okay. All right, cool. Darn, you didn't put it in range of any of your companions. All right, cool. Cultist fails miserably. Raider 1 fails, and Raider 2 fails.
Murder them.
So go ahead and roll your big buttloads of lightning damage.
Oh, you're kidding. How is this statistically possible? I rolled 3d10s, and the grand total was 10.
Oh,
Grand total was
like,
10.
I was
He
afraid
did
they were all
3
three
damage.
ones.
Well,
Oh, no.
so the cultist just instantaneously, you just fries. You watch him like shake, and you briefly see the flash of his skeleton as he gets shocked, and he just collapses to the ground, very much dead. The two raiders are singed and burned, but otherwise standing. It is now Artyom's, unless you have anything else you want to do.
No, Drith is gonna just admire his handiwork.
All right, Artyom, it is your turn with Kadiak on deck.
All right. Make me go diagonal up to the right, and then up 1, 2, 3, and then diagonal to the left. No, diagonal up to the left.
Diagonal. Yep, sorry.
And so everything there should be in a 15-foot radius, right?
Of you?
Yes.
Yeah, including Jelania.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yep. Perfect. So I'm going to
I
cast
don't know what's
Spirit
happening,
Guardians.
but do it.
I call forth spirits to protect me. They flit around me to a distance of 15 feet for the duration, the 15-foot radius. If I am good, their spectral forms appear angelic. When I cast a spell, I designate any number of creatures I can see to be unaffected by it, so clearly all of my friends.
Gotcha.
An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage, and on a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. And I will loudly proclaim that this Norsean and his path crosses that of the, or is blessed by Silhana herself. Clearly, he is walking the correct one. And this is totally based off of the fact that I know that they're both following his own path, and I was going to say this before Mike ever said anything, not because I speak Norsean. So, just clarifying. So they need to make their DC, all of the bad guys need to make their wisdom saving throw.
Okay. What's your DC again?
8 plus my proficiency plus 5, so that's 16.
The shaman succeeds. That raider succeeds. That raider fails. The werebore succeeds. And the other raider fails.
So 12 is the total. So either 12 or 6.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Kadiak, it is your turn with the enemies on deck.
Great. So first off, it's still in Norsean. You call me traitor, and yet you fools and cowards follow this pig, who is not even of the Optin path. And at that point, I am going to use my maul to nail one of the ones that hit me with the nat 20s.
Okay.
And no, I'm not flanking with anybody, right?
No, you are not.
Okay. 16 to hit.
Okay, that will hit.
Great. That's 10 damage, 10 bludgeoning damage. Can I see if... I think.
So that one you actually killed. So tell me how you
I'm
did
going... Okay, so that one I am going to swing that from the side so that the corpse, when it gets hit, falls into the orbor, or the werebore.
Okay.
At least towards it. And then I'm going to use my second attack to try and disarm the werebore and take that maul.
Okay. Okay. All right, we're gonna be okay. Make your, your attack. Make your attack roll versus his strength athletics. I rolled a 19.
Oh.
I too rolled a 19.
Okay. So
I can't remember how ties work.
yeah, well, I mean, I generally rule ties in the favor of the player. That's how I do it. And so you knock this maul out of his hand. Because it's a tie, I won't say you can put it in your own hand. But you knock it out of his hand, and it falls to the ground next to him. He looks at you as it is now his turn, and he says, "Foolish one. I follow the path of the swineherd. I don't need a weapon to kill you." And he goes and he tries to gore you with his tusks. He is going to roll. It's going to be a nat 20 with his tusks.
Oh.
Rip.
You really made him angry.
Yes, I did.
We don't like him when he's
It's
angry.
going to be 16 points of slashing damage. I already have it. And then he is going to make another attack with his tusks. That one's going to hit.
I'm going to... Yeah. Cutting words.
Okay, roll your d8.
Otra vez.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. 8.
Okay. He does not hit Kadiak with his second attack. I do need you to give me a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, though.
Who, me?
No, Kadiak.
Oh, it's like, oh, what'd I do?
$25.
Okay. All right. It is now the turn of It is now the turn of the remaining raider. Sorry, the shaman. The shaman is going to cast Cure Wounds on herself
Rude.
and heal herself for an undisclosed amount of hit points. All right, and then the raiders are going to resume their assault against Kadiak. That one, it'll hit Kadiak. That's gonna be 5 points of slashing damage. Now it gets a second attack and misses its second attack. The next one will attack, and hit for another 6 points of slashing damage. Next one, then it'll make its second attack and hit Kadiak again for additional another 6 points of slashing damage.
All right, and that takes me out. I was at 2, so that brings me down to 0.
All right, Kadiak has been knocked unconscious and is
Oh.
still in the hands
No.
of the werewolf. Piotr, it's your turn with Corvid on deck.
Oh, freak. I don't...
I got this.
Pressure's on.
Wait a second. Just to double check on rolls here. So if I Thunder Wave and he gets hurt, that would be like a coup de grace on him, wouldn't it? Since he's unconscious.
Unconscious. I mean, he would automatically fail. It would count as 2 death saving throws. Yeah, as he would take the damage.
Don't want to do that. I was like, I know what I can do. I can just propel them off of him. But nope, that's a bad idea. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Cure Wounds again.
You mean Healing Word?
Healing Word, sorry. Sorry, I have Mass Cure Wounds and Healing Word, and I just get them
You're good.
mixed up. Okay, 5 HP.
5 HP. Okay, so you're back to 5 hit points, Kadiak. Let's see how long that lasts.
Don't spend it all in one hit. Get it?
It is now Corvid's turn.
Okay. How badly hurt do these guys look?
They, despite they look pretty bad. They look pretty
All
bad.
right. Well, in that case, I already spent one of my 2 spell slots. But did I? Oh no, that is the 3rd level. Okay, I go, realizing that he, just is on the verge of collapse again, and that these guys really don't like him. I run right up next to him. Again, grab his arm and cast Thunderstep again. But this way we're going super far away so that he has time for a breather.
Okay.
As far to the right on this map as possible. It is technically, I could teleport 90 feet with him.
Yeah.
So.
I figure you don't want to leave the battle entirely.
No.
And if I really wanted to, I could extend the map, but I don't feel like
you're
doing that
good.
at this moment.
I would put him, something there. But if possible, can I make it so I'm in front of between him and any enemies? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they make that Constitution saving throw.
Okay, one succeed, the other fails. Yeah, it's
I'm
all,
so bad on these. There's 9 damage total, and then half to 4 if they succeeded.
okay.
And I believe I was standing. I think it was only those 3 that get hit.
It
So I
would
don't get
only be
anything
those
hard to-
2 that got hit.
It's a 10-foot.
Oh, it's a 10-foot. I thought it was 5.
Let me within 10 feet of the space you left. Yep. So I have to be careful with where
Okay,
I
gotcha.
am.
Okay, then in that case, the werebore also failed.
9 points. It's like,
Alright.
all right, buddy, take a breather. They really don't like you.
No, they don't. If you can, get me that maul that's on the ground, will you?
Alright.
Okay, and then I start running back towards the mall. No, I start running back that way.
Alright. It is now the turn of Jelania with Drith on deck.
All right. How big is the fire on the ship now?
It's just about to update that. It's getting closer.
Okay.
Is that just from the regular fire? Because is the other spell?
I'm
has-
assuming
the
that-
others are gone.
Yeah,
The
the
flaming sphere is still
the
there,
spheres.
right?
But the
No,
flames
the sphere's
No,
gone
it's
because
fine.
Adam had
Now I'm
to
doing
Adam
it.
Oh,
switched his
yeah.
concentration. But the fire, this is just the regular fire.
Awesome. I was just curious about that.
Okay. I'm facing down this shaman lady. I say, "You've landed on the wrong shores, witch." I'm going to attack her again. All 3 on her. 19, 24, 15.
Okay. Those will all hit.
As good. 20 points of silvered slashing damage. Is she still up?
She's still up.
All right, I'm gonna action surge and I'm gonna go. I get 2 more attacks, but I'm gonna go 1 at a time on these.
Okay.
17.
That will hit.
And
Yeah.
that's 6 points of slashing damage. She's still up.
She is no longer up.
All right, then I'm gonna hop over the side of the boat. I'm going to go over to. I'm gonna try and get. Can I go? I want to go around to the outside so I don't provoke an attack of opportunity. To the right, sorry. Yeah, and just like slip in right between so that the werebore is between me and Corvette.
Yep.
I'm gonna go for the werebore for my last attack. 23.
Okay, that will hit.
And that's 9 points of silvered piercing damage.
Okay. Werebore is still up.
Okay. I'm here now.
All right, Drith, it is your turn with RTM on deck.
All right, so I am just gonna call down some more lightning right above the 2 people next to Jelania.
Okay.
So it doesn't, hit them or hit any of my allies.
Makes sense. Okay.
DC 14.
One succeeded, 1 failed.
All right, so the one that failed takes 24, and the one that succeeded takes 12.
All right. So you electrify and kill both of those guys.
Nice.
Druid's just blasting everyone.
And it is now the turn of RTM with Cadillac on deck.
I will first, since I forgot to have you make him take damage on his turn. The board nerd needs to take his ghost damage.
Okay, he fails.
So he takes 10 damage.
All right. Tell me how it happened. How he did it.
So I start.
Angelic
I
light.
bring all of the spirits that have been summoned in to one. Like they just start to like swirl around him, and he like Raiders of the Lost Ark style just kind of like falls to pieces because of all of the holy light around him.
All right.
And
Yummy.
I yeah.
Cool.
I don't know what path he followed, but clearly it was the wrong one. Led him to a fiery end.
He followed that of either the sea vine
Spinar.
or
The Spinar.
Spinar.
I
Is that what he said?
named it,
Okay.
yes.
Things kind of heated up there, didn't they?
Yeah. Corbett goes on. I go over and I pick up the Ouroboros Maul, take it over to Cadillac. Like, don't know what you want with this, but I mean, you said to go get it, so here you are.
I did. I wasn't sure if I need to hit it. But you see, he's gonna heft it a little bit. This one's silvered. Those creatures can only be hurt by silvered weapons or by magic. That's why I was focusing on the raiders first.
Wise man.
All right, let's move fast. They're not the only ones, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
So as
Look
you
off in the distance.
start to walk away, you hear coughing coming from the boat. And you realize that the shaman isn't quite dead yet.
What?
But you took them off the map.
I killed her. Me.
But,
We've been bamboozled.
so as you approach, she looks at you and says, "Please, take me prisoner. I have information that would help you."
I'm gonna put my foot on her chest and just like put my weight on her, like push her down into the ship. Share.
Pure. Sorry, please continue.
I can tell you what their next plan is. Where Podara is headed. You can
Piotr steps forward.
Put a stop to these raids.
Okay, hold on. Remember, y'all are on a burning boat.
Oh, I love it though. It's wonderful. Wonderful mood lighting.
Is Cadillac close enough to hear all this?
If you want to be. But Piotr was going to say something first.
Yeah.
Yes,
Piotr steps forward. We defeated her honorably. Let
Podara's
us
not here.
claim victory honorably. I think.
That wasn't Podara.
Sorry, what?
That wasn't Podara. Warbor. The
I
werewolf.
think, now that I've heard the whole sentence, I think Ian was referring to the shaman, having defeated the shaman.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Meaning, I don't think he wants us to kill her.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Enough.
But
Anya, let her get off of her. That boat is burning, and she's been defeated.
Okay.
I want to go give her a good berry.
So you give her a good berry
No.
and
I'm going to take her off the burning boat first.
take her off the burning
I'm
boat.
gonna, like drag her off the boat.
No,
toss
let the
her on
burning boat
shore.
decide if she should live or not.
I have made the decision that she should live. You want to fight me and
Let nature takes the course.
So you take her off the boat, and then Drith feeds her a good berry to, stop at least her bleeding. She's still pretty wounded, but she's at least not bleeding to death anymore.
That was a
One
good
hit
berry.
point.
Nothing worth on the boat, right?
She have
Nothing of note.
Yeah, they have some they have some supplies. Obviously, they would have taken with them for the journey over here. Give me an investigation check while you look for while the boat.
looting a burning boat.
Just give me an investigation check.
Can I
See if
cast-
you can find something before the boat burns into the.
Wait, can I
goes
can
into the
I
water.
saved your
can I slow down the
life.
flames by creating water?
Yeah, you can do that. You can douse the
If
flames.
I saved your life,
Since they're no
just to
longer
have you... Sorry.
since they're no longer magical, you can douse the flames by casting create water. Yes.
18.
Okay.
And this is a quick investigation because he knows exactly where it would be, where they would store stuff, because he's been on one of these raiding boats before.
Okay. So you find, some of their previous, they obviously raided another town up the coast, as they have some gold. They have exactly, 120 gold pieces on board. They also, they have extra weapons and things that, are silvered. They have a few silvered axes, hand axes, 2 silvered hand axes, and a bunch of silvered arrows. Like a quiver of silvered arrows. And then
I don't know that they're there. I'm not with you.
while you're getting off the boat, you notice a shiny glint in the robes of the profane guard, and you find a diamond piece worth 300 gold pieces.
Oh, sweet. Is it 150 gold for the just the coins, right?
120 gold for
120
the boat.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. So I salvaged any silvered weapons, and I can distribute those according to how people would use it.
Just put it in the bag. I'm your bag.
Oh, that's right.
boy.
We have a bag now, don't we?
Yeah, you do.
Bag boy reporting for duty.
And then I'm gonna put I'm gonna put the diamond. If we need this, I know that some spells need stones such as this. We have this, and he's gonna put it in the bag as well. And then he is going to grab the shaman.
No, I have the shaman, and I am not giving her
Oh
to
no,
you.
I'm there as well. I'm right there.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna take her. He's just gonna walk over to where shaman is being held by Artyom and or Jelanya. Just grab the face, grab her by the face, and stare at her. If you are lying to me, there is nowhere you can hide. He's
Enough.
gonna drop and then turn around and walk and try and find the next raiders.
This woman, and I will look around to all of my party members, is no longer a combatant. She is now a patient. Any harm that you wish to do to her, you will have to do to me first. We are more noble than this. She surrendered. And I will lift her up in both arms and start making my way towards where I guess we have set up for our injured soldiers.
Triage or something.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Piotr's gonna accompany him. Just for moral support, I guess.
And Corvette B is about to start heading off joining Kadiak, searching for other people who need help. But before he does that, he walks over to the bundle of robes that was the profane guardsman. Is the mask still there?
Yes.
Is that still there? So he picks up the mask in one hand, and then he throws it out into like the ocean at the same time while firing an eldritch blast, just to carry it away and into the sea. And then he starts just jogging off and following Kadiak.
All right. Sounds good. All right. And with that, we're going to take our 5-ish minute break, even though it normally ends up being about 10 minutes. But yeah, so we'll be back hopefully in about 5 minutes. Thanks for watching. Well, yeah, stick around, please. Some of you go check on the raid, and some of you go help the shaman. It doesn't take much longer for the rest of the raiders to be repelled with minimal damage. The the things that the guy helped set up, the defenses that Piotr and Kadiak helped set up, prevented a lot of the raiders from even landing. It was only the more determined raiders who actually went through. A lot of the ships turned around and headed back the way they came when they saw that it was going to be much more difficult to land this time around. But yeah, so you go and so now that the raid is done, you are you have there are two things that happen. One, obviously, the shaman being healed with some magic wants to talk with, specifically she wants to talk with Kadiak, and whoever else is willing to listen. But also Vitali has summoned you all to his presence. Vitali wants to talk to you. So it just depends on where you decide to go first.
I don't know that I trust leaving this shaman by herself.
Yeah, so
town.
there's not like a keep we can throw her in.
Well, I'm sure once
That's guarded.
once she's
Yeah.
healed to a degree, she's gonna be she's probably getting thrown into prison, with guards, guards around her. So it's not like and since she has, gone back, she's perfectly docile. She hasn't tried anything. She's just kind of, she let herself get chained up, and she's just waiting for you to come talk to her. So she's not trying to break out or do anything.
No, I'm more worried about the other people.
Sir.
Yeah. I mean, Kadiak would want to go talk to the shaman, but he is willing to talk to Vitali first because he knows that she's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He is itching to go figure out what it is that she supposedly has information on, but he's willing to talk to Vitali, depending on what the party wants.
I would say go talk to her first, because the information she has will probably help us plan better with Vitali. But I'm not gonna go and talk to her. I'm just gonna go and hang out with Vitali.
Yeah. Piotr says, I say we talk to the shaman first, and then I'm sure we can speak to Vitali afterwards.
Okay.
Great. Well, Kadiak's heading over there then.
All right. Piotr will follow, I guess.
Okay. Who else is going with Kadiak?
Corvette
Piotr is.
been with him. So just
Drift will
continue
go
that.
as well.
Everyone except Anya.
Yep.
Everyone's
Tell,
gonna
tell,
watch Ellie.
tell your brother that we'll be there shortly. We're just getting some information, and it should help him as well. So we'll be there momentarily.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So you head over to the the dungeons, descend into the dungeons more aptly, and you make your way to the. You're guided to her cell. She's probably been given the smallest cell out of everything. It literally has barely enough room for a bed, and to pace like 2 steps either direction. But she's just sitting there on the bed. They've taken away her ceremonial headdress
Stuff.
and her other anything. She's just sitting there in her furs and leather, and she looks at you as you approach, and she nods, and she's looking at Kadiak and says, "I thank you for coming."
Is she speaking in Mordeviran or Norsean?
She's speaking in Norsean currently.
And what race is she?
She is an elf, actually, is what she is. but you could. But she was speaking in Morviran earlier, so you could ask her to speak Morviran if you wanted to.
I might in a second.
Okay.
But she starts to understand.
So she looks at you and says, "So, tell me, what path do you follow?"
As I'm sure you heard me say, the Urdine path is what I wander. It protects this town and this land.
They say Podara walks the Urdine path. She does not protect this town or this land.
No, but mine does.
Wise
There
answer.
are many paths in the single.
Very wise answer. I am Hjalta, shaman of I am a shaman of the Svinar path. I have, but I'm afraid that it is not a good time to walk any path.
Not the way you walk. Or the way that your friend walked.
I would like to say that I walked this path out of choice, but more recently I feel as if I am forced to walk this path. Ever since Podara came, with the purple-robed ones, with their silver masks and even more silver tongues.
In that case, you do not walk it at all, but are dragged.
Yes. If only that were true of all our brethren, but it is not the case. Unfortunately, ever since Podara appeared, claiming to be guided by one of the elders, she has led many of our people astray. And those who can see it at this point did not speak early enough to prevent it. And now we are dragged, as you say, in the path.
And I was away. I was taken. But I'm going to remove my eye patch. I, too, have spoken to and communed with the elders.
Her eyes go kind of wide when she sees your purple eye. And which elder guides you?
I have been chosen by Maeve, be directed in my path.
Maeve. Maeve is is one that I believe is on our side. She
Our side?
there are those who seek to oppose Podara, though those that she discovers, she kills, which is why I'm still alive. Podara claims to be led by a fairy by the name of Trevan, an elder by the name of Trevan.
Maeve has spoken of this to me.
Yes, he has given
It
her
is
much.
unfortunate that so many...
He has given her much power, and unlike you, she has already earned the ability to transform into the ancient spirits.
It is unfortunate that so many of our people are so idly swayed by a simple display of power and willing to drop the conditions that have kept us safe and kept us free.
A simple display of power is anything but a simple one. She has been raiding Morviran cities up and down the coast. Some say that she has even gone so far as to raid the mighty merchant city of Tradewind in the Central Sea that no Norsean has ever been able to touch before. It says that she has gone beyond Tradewind even to the other continent and raided there and brought back many riches and much needed supplies. There are many of our
I
people.
see.
There are many of our people who yearn for more power, yearn to become as the conquerors, as our ancestors were conquerors of old, and are no longer content with our ancestral paths. Instead, they want to burn the world and recreate it in this new image. And if Podara only came with Trevan the Elder, I might be persuaded to join her. But she came with the purple-robed ones. And I know they do not speak for the elders. They do not speak for the wild spirits.
Anything but.
I can tell you where Podara...
Dead is the bear that gluts...
Nope, go ahead.
Dead is the bear that gluts itself on fish before the storm. So shall we be if we decide to try and take power and destroy ourselves in the meantime.
So it shall be.
Please, for my friends, let us speak in Morviran now.
She nods. She looks at everyone else. I can tell you where Podara is headed. She seeks to march on the city of Norgarn. She seeks to destroy that and reclaim the ancestral lands that were lost to your empire long ago. She's gathering her forces as we speak. We expect that within the month she will be at the gates of Norgarn and be preparing to siege down the city.
And the raids here?
The raids here are...
They to continue?
They will continue so long as Podara leads her war band. She has gathered many behind her. Some are even beginning to call her the next great war chief.
Eric will curse at that language that probably that she might speak, but yeah, it's the language of the bears. It sounds like a bear growling, basically. He curses. You are a shaman. I don't know of your training. If you were to stay here and watch this city, would you be able to give more warning?
I cannot stay here. They would not listen to me. But I cannot stay here while my home is going to be torn apart by a war. I would very much like to return to my homeland and help stop what is about to happen. I feel as if it is the only way that I can make up for what I have done these past few months. For it has not been until today that I have seen someone that I believe has the strength to stop her.
Can I make an insight check?
Go for it.
Seven.
I mean, as far as you can tell, she's sincere as far as you can tell.
Yeah. All right.
Yoter is skeptical as well, and he's gonna chime in. By rights, you are a prisoner of war. I don't think letting you go would be wise.
Do I have to be a prisoner here? Could you not take me with you as your prisoner? I will wear these chains if you so desire, but I must go home.
Your crimes are against Cordovan. Or you might be of use to us.
And we do happen to be pretty close with the nobility here.
I know Podara's command structure. I know who is serving under her. I know her plans, where she intends to strike. Leaving me here would just weaken you.
We shall confer with the leaders of this city. Don't know about your path, but in mine we trust those in power to an extent, and those here have proven themselves worthy of that trust.
Excellent. In that case, I will await your news and the time when I will be free of this cell. And she just
Switching back to Norsean, he'll give a traditional farewell and stand.
all right. She doesn't say anything and just watches you leave. I assume that you all are going to go see Vitali now.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Kedek's gonna fill them in a little bit about what was said in the Norsean part of the conversation. Not details, but the gist of it.
So I'm not the only one who hides things.
Well, is there anything that you would have left out that Piotr would have noticed? Or anyway, we'll figure that out later.
Nothing of note or specific. He's not hiding anything so much as he
okay.
is just trying to be brief and
Okay.
leave out some of the formalities and the more
The metaphors.
the details that don't matter to anyone else. Yeah, the metaphors, all that.
The
Cool.
questionable metaphors.
She said that it's like you have a farm and then you go and pillage.
All right. So you head to Vitali. Vitali looks at you as so. Zhelanya is sitting. So Vitali is sitting on his throne, blindfolded, and next to Zhelanya, and next to him is Zhelanya in a seat next to him as you all approach. And the guards have let him know that you are coming. Mitya is standing by his side, and he looks at you. So, you are back from talking with our prisoner. Tell me, what did she have to say?
She
claims to have.
continue, Kadiak, yes. Your Norsean
She claims
is
to
probably a
have-
bit sharper than mine.
She claims to have valuable information about the situation in Norse, about the Profane Guard and their exploits there, as well as the next steps that she is going to be taking. She also says that the raids here will continue until she is stopped.
That's what I was afraid would be said.
And unfortunately, I am inclined to believe her.
Despite the fact that he clearly can't see anymore, he kind of looks down and he keeps talking. Last night I had a dream. In this dream, I saw Cordovan burn. I saw the fire spread from Cordovan to the rest of the Imperium. I watched this fire in the shape of a bear. I think it was a dream sent to me by the goddess. because there was only one way that the fire was stopped, and it was with you. But, dream or no, I have had enough of this, of my people being attacked, and my ruling lord doing nothing about it. I can only I have done my best to defend my people, but my boyar has a duty to protecting my people as well, for my people are his people. Kneel before me. I have an honor to bestow upon you all.
Do I get to go crack some noble heads?
So, are you all going to kneel before Vitali?
Yes.
I
Yep.
So, he turns to Jelani. He turns to Mitya actually, and Mitya holds out this finely crafted wooden container, and he opens it, and inside you see necklaces that have the symbol of the Katenkov household on it. One for each of you. And he reaches out for Jelania and, asking to be guided to each of your friends. And as Jelania guides him to you, he pulls out each necklace and one by one puts it over your neck, like, Star Wars style, when Leia put the stuff on Chewie and Luke and Han. And he speaks as he does so. I name you Champions of Cordovan, and I give you the authority to act under the direction and the supervision of Jelania, of course, in the Katenkov household name. And I task you with this. You will take a contingent of my soldiers, and you will go to Norgarn, where you will inform the boyar of what has happened here, and demand that he takes action. That he prepares his city for the attack that is about to come. You are now champions of Cordovan. Is this an honor that you and a task that you all will accept?
Piotr,
Yes.
yes. Bows slightly. And, yes. I will accept.
It is.
I'm awaiting answers from the other two, Corvette and Artyom.
Corvette bows his head. I'm indeed humbled by this, and I accept the task you give us. I must represent my own family, however, in this. But know that I take on this task as an ally of the Pesach family, allies itself with the Kontenkov house. But I must represent my own.
I would expect no less.
If you may forgive me.
I would expect no less from you.
Thank you.
And surprisingly, even without his eyes, he turns where Artyom is sitting, and he looks at you. I wait your answer.
He's a baron, right?
Mhm.
I will stand up, and I will pick up the symbol, and I'm going to take it off, and I will kind of just wrap the chain around and slide it into a belt pouch, and I will say, Baron Katenkov, while you honor me as a man and as a priest of Silhana, I cannot choose just one household. I will, however, go forth and in the name of all that is right and good, and by the will of the dragon goddess, I will bring chastisement and remind the boyar of his divinely appointed duties to his people. I will carry with me your symbol as a as a token of your appreciation and to remind myself of what I have witnessed here. But I cannot represent just one family. I represent everyone.
So be it. I expect your voice not to be heard when you speak with the boyar then, though.
You expect my voice not to be heard?
Not in the capacity of the Katenka. If you wish to speak for the church, then then please do so. But do not represent my interests.
I do. I represent your interests in as far as they go. They represent the interests of Silhana for all of hers, for her children to live in peace. And in this case, your will and her will, I believe, fairly line up. And so I will go and I will speak as like I said, I will speak in her name and add the support of the church to the message brought forth by my friends and by the House of Bradens that I never remember the name of.
It's Peshek.
Very well. A contingent of my men will accompany you, of course. They will prepare, and they will have the supplies gathered, and be prepared to leave in the morning. If you have anything else you wish to take care of here before you go, then I would recommend you do it.
There is one thing. The prisoner, the shaman, wishes to journey with us, to be a source of information and strength there instead of here. And I understand that your people seek justice. I would request that you allow us to meet it to her.
Understandable.
She wants to go with us to Norgarn.
Yes.
Do you have
I don't
something
see what
else?
value she would bring to that.
Her information would be no use here. Her her knowledge of Podara's, army would not help in the back. It would only be useful on the front lines.
Is Norgarn... Is she familiar with that place? Is she familiar with the boyar and the people that we are going to be speaking to? How will that be helpful to us?
She's familiar with who we are fighting.
Okay, great. She can tell us all about them. And then we can go without her.
I don't know about you, Anya, but I'm not terribly well versed in military tactics. I imagine that the boyar has men and women that could benefit from the information that she brings.
Perhaps another arrangement. The rings that you wear, Baron and Zelania and Seta in the past has worn. Could we fashion some sort of version for her that she might speak to us while remaining imprisoned here to make sure that justice is served on both fronts?
If I recall, Kadiak, the other portion of her request was to be able to put a stop to the war and save her own homeland. That's something that she also can't do rotting in a cell.
No, but once
I noticed that she's an elf and not a dwarf. Was she a slave?
No. Not at all. At least not to my people. There are many tribes in the north, in North Sea. There are humans, elves, dwarves, all kinds. Some tribes have multiple races within one another. With her case, I do believe that if we were able to receive her information and check that it is good from afar, she would be less likely to betray us, or if she would betray us, it would be less damaging. And once we have proven her worth, then we could deliver her to her homeland to free it there. It is a compromise.
It is a
Baron,
compromise.
you have heard our sides.
It is a
I
compromise.
stand for mercy, Anya stands for justice, and Kadiak is in the middle.
I agree with the dwarf.
I do not think such a compromise is necessary. I trust that my sister will watch out for her and make sure that she does not step out of line. And if she does, I trust her to deal her form of justice swiftly and quickly. I believe that it is best if the shaman goes with you. She does not have the sending spell that we used for the rings has its limitations, and it would be better if I believe it would be better if she was there on the front lines with you. But I just know that Jelania has my permission that if she perceives any misgivings from this woman, to swiftly end her life.
That is understood and expected.
Artyom is gonna kind of just like grit his teeth and like clench his fists and look away, not say anything.
Trusty Vitali. Do what you want. I'll do what you say.
Very well. We will honor your wishes.
Excellent. In that case, I recommend you rest well and prepare for the journey. It is not a short amount of time to arrive in Norgarn. And if what this shaman says is true, you won't have much time to prepare once you do arrive. Now. And with that, he goes back and sits in his chair and... what do you all wish to do now in preparation for your upcoming journey?
Pioch is pretty exhausted from the fight and from... Well, what time of day is it at this point?
At this point, it's probably getting closer to evening.
Okay. Pioch is pretty exhausted, as I mentioned. He's going to return to his quarters.
Yeah, Kadiak will as well. He is going to be, at first, the first thing he's going to be doing there while he's resting is the symbol that he always wears, the bone carving. On the back, he is going to embed the Katenkov symbol, the house symbol.
All right.
He's going to take some time doing that. And after that, he's going to be working on the projects at the loom that he has been working on for the past few weeks, or the past week.
Trying to get that done before you go head off into the freezing north.
Yep, he's going to try and get that done. Patrick, I'd say they're probably almost done, right?
Yep. I'd say you'll be able to get them done in time.
Okay, cool. So he's going to be working on those and being available in the common area of our quarters.
I want to talk to Corvette.
Okay.
All right. You see Corvette. Oh, never mind. He'll be doing that later if you catch him right away.
Well, I'm going to go looking for you.
Okay. He is in his quarters, scribbling on another document, trying to wrap something up.
I'm gonna knock on the door, and I assume you're letting me in.
Yes. Open it. We'll let you back. Artyom,
I'm not here to chastise you or call you to repentance. In fact, I need your help with understanding something. May I come in?
gestures. Come on in, have a seat.
I'm gonna take off my blindfold and kind of rub my eyes and sit down. Corvette, there's a very obvious difference between you and I, as we've pointed out to each other several times. You were born noble, and I was not.
Yes.
What is it about being born noble that gives you the right to decide whether someone lives or dies?
That's a great question. I don't think there should necessarily is a good answer. I did have a question similar that I was just curious about, was with Hjalta. You in a sense said she would live despite whether or not anyone wanted otherwise. I don't know why. I mean, we know why the noble houses started forever ago, right? I mean, weren't they servants of Silhana that helped her at some point? I mean, if not, then I don't know what else to say, but
Silhana doesn't give anyone the right to decide whether someone lives or dies. And yet, I am struggling with Vitali's decision to permit Anya at any point, should she feel that this shaman is out of line, to mete out justice. Well, how is that justice? If she, and this is going to sound worse than I intended, Corvette, but what if Anya's having a bad day and
I'll take it for.
She looks at her funny. Oh,
If it's just for purposes like that, I assure you, I hope and believe that Jelania would not kill her for looking at her funny.
No, I know. I don't know that she wouldn't, but I'd like to believe that she would.
Exactly. We hope and believe that, right? And kind of like before, there are you should receive. If you're a person who goes around murdering people all the time, and then you're let go, and like, how do you repay that? Like, what do you do?
But is war murder? We killed her friends, comrades, some people associated to her. Does that make us murderers?
It's a great question. From their perspective, probably. Even as the aggressors, they probably see us as that.
And so once the dust is settled and the flames are put out and the bodies are counted and the wounded on both sides are collected, wouldn't her debt already have been paid through the blood of the people she cared about? Because she's no Podara. she isn't the one giving the instructions. She's not the one choosing to continue this war.
RTM, I agree with you in the sense of her making amends, doing something about it. But sometimes it is sitting in prison. If you can't do things to change it, some things are just that bad, you have to be taken out of society. And as you pointed out before, I agree there are some nobles that need that to happen. I'm not blind to it. And so I don't know what the perfect answer is. That's the hard thing about being in charge, is deciding, okay, how to fix this? What kind of judgment should be placed?
I guess part of what I'm asking, I had a conversation with Anya a while back, asking her if she'd ever seen any of, more than likely, the terrible things that her father's men may have done at some point. And at least to me, it seemed that that was unfathomable. The very idea that people in the service of her and her family could do such things, could do wicked, horrible things. And then when I saw her standing on that burning ship, holding down a helpless, defenseless woman, it broke my heart. I'd hoped she'd be different, but I saw in her what I see in most nobles, that disregard for anyone else. And I don't think she meant it. She was using her station, but the callous disregard for the fact that that woman was barely clinging to her life, and now she has permission to end this woman's life. And I don't think that's what was meant when the noble houses were established after the end of the war between the goddess and Morpheus. You were meant to serve and protect the regular people. And yet, so many regular people are killed or thrown in prison for things that could be minor, or things that could be major, like being on the other side of the war. That I understand. But when you literally can't do anything and you're lying in a burning boat, I don't know how to come to terms with what I saw out there. And I've seen a lot growing up on the streets and seeing my mother murdered. I'm looking for help to understand. You both have asked me to try and be more understanding, and then I see things like that.
Something that I've tried to do, because I'll tell you right now, my father, he's not a good noble. He's not someone that I would hope to ever want to be. Something that I have learned, and I'm grateful that I'm different from him in this way, is hopefully to judge more on the action than the person as a whole. You don't have to like what Jelania did, what I do sometimes. But I think at least what I've been asking is there's going to be some people who are just constantly do things that aren't good. And you don't have to like any of it. But not spreading it out before seeing what a different person does, what a different noble does. And yeah, there are going to be times when people that you care about disappoint you. And I'm sure you've seen it and lived it. And that's one of the hardest things to see or live, is knowing either someone you love has disappointed you or knowing that you have disappointed yourself. And so I don't have a good answer for you, Artyom, really. But I appreciate knowing that you're taking a second to look and see and respond.
I know deep inside that there is goodness and light and hope that has just been crushed after what she's gone through, and I just want to help. I want to bring it out. And I don't know how without.
One thing is you can be intense sometimes.
And I don't want her. I want her to feel like I'm helping her, not like I'm judging her. And not that I'm so great and she's so not.
Well then.
But that's how every conversation that I have with her seems to come across. Well, there's this thing that I noticed about you, Miss Steveling, and yes, whatever, you stupid angel freak.
Oh.
Accurate.
Kura puts his hand on his head, is like, oh. Well, that's a good place to start.
We were all handpicked for whatever reason, by Silhana. There's goodness inside all of us. Of course, you and I are the only two who know that.
Listen without even suggesting an idea. Just try it for once. That's all I'll say.
So you want me to walk over there, knock on her door, and then just stand and listen?
You know, when the next conversation comes around, naturally, just let her vent or feel or just say whatever it is she's saying. And the hard part is not saying how you feel or what you think about the situation. It's hard, but try it. If it doesn't work, but I think it has a powerful impact when people feel that you're there just to listen to them and not to make any suggestions. Like you were saying, you don't want to come across as being judgmental, so just asking questions in a way that's not interrogating or being like, "Are you sure?" But just like, "Okay, tell me more about that if you want, and if not, I'll back off." Because you can be a bit intense sometimes.
Well, I guess you're okay for a noble. I will keep you around.
I will take that. I will take that. That's as big as a compliment from you for a noble. I will take that.
Well-
Thank you. So
I appreciate your help, Corvette. I guess I'll give that a shot. Maybe, hopefully, she'd be willing to give me one. But I can't. I have to say something about what I saw. We have to be above that. We have to be that hope and that light. Especially if we're to stop this dream that Vitaly had.
you will.
I'm gonna stand up. And unless you have anything else you want to say, I will take my leave.
Thank you for stopping by, Artyom. It was really good.
Yeah.
So I extend my hand out to him. Be like, "We cool? For now, at least, right?"
Corvette, we're always cool. But I don't think I won't be following up with you about Bronislav here before too long.
Just take the freaking hand.
Alright, I'll take your hand and I'll shake it and I'll head off.
Good night,
And
Artyom.
knowing
And
that
don't
we are-
go right away.
Good night.
Give space, time. Again, decreased intensity.
That is definitely not what I am going to go do.
Okay.
Maybe as Adam, maybe not tonight, because I know we're running out of time and I want people to be able to do things.
No, we're not ending the game. No.
All
If
right.
there's nothing else anybody else wants to do, that's my next stop. Don't worry, Corbin. I'm going to bed. See you in the morning.
Real quick, I want to talk with Vitali if before that.
All right.
So I assume this is right after he left us, and I just want to go. Hey, Vitali, I want to thank you, sir, so much for making me a champion. You know, I haven't been champion in anything since the hide in the woods hide and seek competition a few years back.
Well, it's. I know in my head where this is going. I know what you're gonna say. Oh man. So Vitaly says, "Well, being stealthy, is that something that your people admire?"
Yeah, actually, it was great. Yeah, I just I hid in a tree and no one could find me for about 3 months. Yeah, I survived off acorns from my squirrel friends. It was great. Yeah, and I came back and they were like, "Hey, Drith, you're here," and then they gave me a wreath of pine cones to celebrate my winnings.
No one thought to come looking for you?
I think that was the game. Drith gets a 1,000-yard stare. Vitali, do you think they were just trying to get rid of me for a bit?
You're welcome for making. He's just not gonna answer, so you're welcome. Thank you for accepting the honor of being a champion.
All right. See you around. Or Drith turns into an owl and flies away.
With Alistair?
Oh, wait, he can't turn into an owl
Owls.
yet. Drith will turn into a reef shark and flop away.
Alright. Okay. Anything else? to be done this night before we move on?
So I'm gonna go and stay out in like the courtyard or something, just like somewhere that's kind of outside. And I'm like kind of sat up, maybe against like a tree or against a wall or something. And I've got that book, Endless. It's kind of like in my lap, kind of flipping through the pages, not really reading it, but kind of fiddling with the crest jewelry that I've got back on now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hang out there for a while.
Well, if there's nothing else to be done this evening, you all go tired of your rooms eventually. Sleep.
Eventually, there's a conversation that I was going to go start.
If you want to go start it right now, you're welcome to.
I'm not in my room.
She's not in her room.
RTM waits in her room.
No. Unlike Dread, I know that's not right.
Hiding in the closet, under the bed.
With a candle under his face.
Yeah, Drith waits
The
in
new elf on the
RTM's
shelf.
room.
I'm just gonna ask a guard, have you seen her ladyship?
And they will direct you to the courtyard.
Is that patch of grass next to you
Yeah,
occupied?
you're pretty familiar where the courtyard is at this point. You've been living here for like a week.
Yes,
You know where the
I know. I
courtyard is.
wasn't talking to you, Dungeon Master. I was talking to her.
Oh, sorry.
I said, is that patch of grass next to you occupied?
Shouldn't you just know that?
No,
May I have a seat?
fine.
What you read?
Oh, it's a book Vitaly gave me several years ago.
Why I don't get to do a lot of reading? What's it called?
I kind of like close it and rotate it, and you can see on the front in Celestial it says Endless.
How do you read that language?
I mean, my father wanted us to know all about the people who hated us and how best to use it, so that's something he wanted us all to speak. So I had lessons from, the priest in town, and it was awful, but now I can speak it.
I'm going to switch to Celestial and say, I don't hate you. I don't look at you any different or any less because of who you are, or at this point because of what you are. And to be honest, it took me a little bit. But I'm worried about something.
It always seems like you are when it comes to me.
Well, I worry about everyone. But
I'm not talking about you worried for my salvation. I assume that you feel that way about everyone. Just feels like you don't trust my judgment and you think I'm going to fly off the handle at any moment.
I don't think that. But I'm concerned about something that I saw in our most recent battle, and a good friend of mine recommended that I ask you and then listen. I really struggled when I saw you holding that dying woman down in a burning ship with no apparent concern for your safety or your life or her life. And what I saw scared me. But I would like to know your thoughts and feelings before I jump to any conclusions.
I don't see why this is complicated. She came to attack and kill people in my town. She came to raid my home. We didn't have any problem killing the other ones. I wasn't standing there about to stab her through the eye. Also, as to the
other
burning
ones
ship,
were
I
dead.
barely even noticed it. Tieflings don't feel fire the way that other people do. It's, part of what we are is that we have the fire of the 9 hells in our veins, and so it's not as big a deal. So I barely even noticed it.
You don't have to defend yourself to me. And I am sorry that the conversations that I've had with you in the past have made you feel like I am always judging you.
It's something also that I do reflexively with people like you. I told you I learned Celestial from another bishop, a priest. It's just something that I've grown accustomed to, of that so careful judgment. Oh, I'm so concerned for the well-being of your eternal soul, and because of these things that you do, these things that you are, blah, blah, blah. It's something I got used to. So it's something that just comes out. Something that I assume from people in the church like that. So I'm trying to not do that to you. But it is hard.
That's okay. I don't understand when you say when people look at you differently for what you are. Let's be fair, I'm accustomed to funny looks, both of disgust from when I was living on the streets, and then fear from when I became a member of the clergy. I don't know. I think I try so hard with you because I know that even though you've been through so much and felt so much pain, that there's still all of that goodness and hope somewhere inside you. And it's just, it's in my nature to want to help people heal. When I was on the streets, one of the reasons it's so hard for me to trust people is because I trusted people too much. And so getting stabbed in the back, sometimes actually stabbed, was pretty common because I cared too much for everyone around me, and I wanted everyone to just feel safe and be happy, and it must be part of my bloodline or something to want to help. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here to you. I wanted to say I'm sorry for everything that I'll making you feel terrible about yourself and about being a noble and about I don't think that you deserve to feel that way, and I don't think you should be ashamed to be who you are and what you are, and I think the fact that you are so strong and courageous in what you do and how you I don't know. You're just I want you to be I want you to see yourself the way that I see you. And if I could share my golden eyes with you, I would.
Are you wearing the blindfold right now?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm outside.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be fair, but the guards are probably starting to catch on when I just keep going to places by myself. But
The blindfold, you're like perfectly navigating stairs.
Artyom, I don't have shame of who I am. I've had a lot of practice pushing against that. I'm not afraid to be me. I'm not afraid to be a Katenkov or a tiefling. Sure, maybe there's things I don't like about myself, but those are much less important. I'm just used to being on the defensive is all. Because I'm not ashamed. And I know many who are ashamed of me.
can you help me be proud of who I am? And I'm gonna take off my blindfold. I don't want to have to wear this anymore.
I don't think you need to. Corvid walks around with his eyes showing. People don't come and tackle him from the shadows. If people came for you or came for him, I feel like the rest of us would probably kill them.
There you go, oh boy, there you go, killing again.
I mean, what else would I do? If someone came to kill or abduct
Anya.
you or something.
Anya, it was a joke. Tell you what,
Sorry, I'm not
you
used to
teach
jokes.
me how to be okay with who and what who and what I am, and I will help you learn how to smile and laugh.
Okay. Didn't realize I had a problem with smiling.
When you do smile, it definitely lights up the room. Or the courtyard.
This dark, isn't it?
Dungeon Master, what is the night sky like?
Sun still hasn't gone down. It's like 5 p.m. Super bright.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs? I'm just kidding. No,
Meatballs.
I mean it's partially
It's a mirror.
cloudy with some stars peeking through.
You see, if you look up, Anya, even when it's darkest, there's always just the slightest hint of light. And I look up and I'm pointing at the clouds and the stars, and once those clouds move, the moon will come out and the night will be so much brighter, and you'll be able to see everything that was hidden. You do have to look a little harder at night than when the sun is up, but
Oh, I think it's actually the opposite. See, I've been reading this book. I've actually read it twice. It's a series of love poems between the sun and the moon. The moon is so grateful to reflect the sun's light and everything that she is, and he talks all the time of how beautiful she is and how she warms everything she touches and all of that. But after a while, he starts to realize that she's the same always. She doesn't change, and that the affection that she gives back to him is not what he would hope for. And right here at the very end, there's an eclipse. And the shadow of Inara covers the moon, and he can't see the sun anymore. And for a while, he's very sad. But then he turns, and he can see the stars that he couldn't see before because the sun was too bright. Sometimes it's easier to see when it's dark. Svetla was the sun to me when I was growing up. The one real light. And now she's gone. And I'm trying to see the stars. I've already found some. You and the rest. You're some of them. But it is dark. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
do you know how to navigate by the stars?
Maybe a little. Not really.
So, if you look up, and I'm going to reach out and just like absent-mindedly place one of my hands on her hand and point out towards a star.
I
If you look
immediately
up there-
flinch and pull my hand away.
And he's not even gonna notice. It's just gonna, his hand is just gonna like land on the grass. If you look up there, and he's gonna show her how to find the North Star on this planet. And then he's gonna look at her and he's gonna say, and the nice thing about having so many stars in your life is even when it's dark, you can find your way. And I'm really glad that you are a bright, shining star in my life.
Thank you. I'm glad to not be alone.
Well,
I'm sorry, you want me to say something beautiful? I don't
What?
know how to do that.
No, that was beautiful to me. Being accepted into someone's life is a powerful gift. And you know, sometimes when those false suns clear and we're able to see more, we're able to see where the light and the warmth in our life is really coming from. I haven't given up on trying to find a way to bring your sister back and free her from Morpheus. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll find out a way.
Thank you.
and he's going to grin and stand up, and he's going to walk away with the blindfold left on the ground next to Anya.
I'm gonna put it in my pocket. I'll just sit there out in the grass for a while. Look up at the stars. Take a deep breath. And grab my book and go back to my room.
All right. Night passes. The morning comes. And and the next day, you arise and awaken to go and join the contingent of soldiers marching north towards Norgarn. And that is where we will pick up next time on Ready to Roll. Thanks everyone for coming out. It's been a good session. Just a reminder, this Saturday we are going to be having our second episode of Eldritch Noir premiering 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Right? Nope. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Tune in for that.
And
for some different drama.
Yeah.
The differentest drama.
Watch the adventures and shenanigans of Nicholas Eugene Glass.
And
that doesn't fit.
Elhan Anderson, the detective, as well as
Yes, but mostly Glass.
Mostly glass.
as well as Vivian and
Don't forget Seb and Vivian.
Seb, as well as Vivian and Seb. Then next
He's
week,
only mostly glass.
and then next week we will have our rehash the rolls. So if you have questions for that, we will have the Google Doc posted, so that way you can have the Google form posted, so that way you can put any questions that you have there.
I also want to make a mention of painting streams, different strokes. Next week is going to be different strokes with different folks. We're going to have a guest to come on and hang out with me and paint. She is a wonderful mini artist. Any Minis Dungeon on Instagram. She's a good friend of mine, and she's really great. So she's going to come on, and we're going to talk about, the game, being a mini painter, crafting, all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be good. That's Tuesday.
Tuesday?
No, Monday. I'm so sorry. Monday.
Mondays. Yeah, we're doing them Mondays
at 6:30 Mountain Time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So again, thank you for coming. It's been a lot of fun, and we will talk with you all later. Bye, guys.
Bye.